Hi everyone. We are going to talk about awesome topics today. One of my favorite topics. Both of them are my favorite topics actually. Identifying and managing emotions and effective communication. But before we begin our new topics, let's talk about what we discussed last week. Let's do a little bit of review. So we talked about decision making, right? So let's see if you guys can remember the poem that we did, okay? So it goes, stop, think, that's the important link for giving yourself some time before you make up your mind. Stop and think. Hopefully you guys remember that poem, right? It's important that we use those steps when we make a decision, okay? So remembering to stop and think will help you make better decisions, right? So now let's get into our new lesson. Who can name a feeling or an emotion? We all can, right? So let's list some of those emotions. There's happy, right? That's an emotion. Sad, scared, mad, worried, angry. Okay, those are all emotions. Identifying our own emotions is so important. We need to dig a little deeper, right, to know how we're feeling. Sometimes it's hard to describe how we're feeling. Sometimes we can tell by our body signals, and we're going to talk about that today. But there are many different feelings. Some feelings are happy, some are sad, some are scared, some are angry. Let's see if we can figure out feeling words that are alike and feeling words that are different. So you have many words to describe how you feel. So let's go ahead and dig a little deeper into Okay, so these are feelings, right? So let's look at the first category, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to circle which one does not belong, okay? So let's see here. So again, for each number, I will read the feeling words, okay? And we will circle them together, the one that does not belong, okay? So let's look at the first one. We have furious, grumpy, and terrified. Furious is more so like anger, right? Grumpy is kind of like angry too, right? Terrified, whew, that's scared, right? Okay, so the one that does not belong is terrified, right? Good job. So let's do the second one. We have heartbroken, cheerful, overjoyed. Heartbroken is more like sad, right? We're crying. Cheerful is happy. Overjoyed is happy. So the one that does not belong is heartbroken. So I want you to look at the last two, and I want you to think about those for a minute. The fourth one is a little cut off because of the video here, but the last one is cheerful. I know you can't really see the emoji, but try to focus on those and try your best to figure out which one of those do not belong in those categories, okay? I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Okay, let's come back together. So here we have blue, grumpy, and heartbroken. Blue is sad, right? Grumpy is more anger, right? Heartbroken is sad. So the one that does not belong is grumpy. Now let's do the last three. Frightened, terrified, cheerful. So frightened is more like, oh, I'm scared. Terrified, oh, scared, right? Cheerful is happy, right? So cheerful is the one that does not belong. So do you see how there's several different feeling words to describe how we're feeling, right? Okay, so these ones do not belong. Good job. So now let's talk about silent expression, okay? These words help us share what we are feeling. We can also share our feelings without saying a word, right? Dogs can tell us how they feel. Let's bring Wagner into this. Wagner, it's time to wake up, okay? Okay, it's time to wake up. We're gonna join the lesson today, Wagner. Okay, Miss Sarah. So dogs can tell us how they feel without using the words, can't they, right? What is Wagner telling you when he wags his tail? He's happy, right? What if the fur stands up straight on his back, okay, and he shows his teeth? He's angry or mad, right? Do people do the same thing? No, not at all. Okay, not really, right? We don't have tails and we don't have fur, right? Okay, so we don't wag our tails, but we do smile when we're happy, right? So our fur doesn't stand up. We don't growl either. We show people how we feel with our faces, right? Okay, so show me how your face would look like when you're angry. I know this year's a little different because we're wearing masks, but I want you to show me you're angry. Show me you're angry without telling me. Okay, awesome. Good job. So you can show you're angry with a scowl just as you can show happy feelings with a smile. People and dogs may be different in many ways, but there is one very important way that we are all the same. We all have feelings. I sure do. Let's go ahead and practice showing how we feel. Okay? So, the object is to show everyone how you feel without saying a word. So right now, go ahead and show me again that you're angry without using your words. Okay, good job. It's good to practice. Wagner, you're going to have a seat over here. Okay, Miss Sarah. All right, so now I will make a statement and you will show how you are feeling by using your facial expressions, okay? I don't want anybody talking. This is done completely silently, okay? So don't make any noise. Okay. Show that you are surprised to see a present on your bed, okay? Without talking. Okay? Show that you are frustrated because you were blamed for something you didn't do. Show that you are startled by a loud clap of thunder. Show that you feel sorry because you hurt somebody's feelings. Show that you are excited that it's the first day of school. Show that you feel heartbroken because you broke your favorite toy. Alright, so you guys get the idea. We can show people how we're feeling without using our words. But it's important to tell people how you feel too, because sometimes people might not be able to tell how we're feeling, or it might be confusing, miscommunication, right? So, let's bring Wagner back into this. Let's talk about some healthy strategies. Wagner, you have been awfully quiet during our class today. Is everything okay, Wagner? Let's ask Wagner if he's all right. Grr. No, I am not all right. Whoa, Wagner, what's wrong? You don't seem like you're in a very good mood. I'm not, Miss Sarah. I'm mad. My humans were so busy they forgot to put food in my bowl. I tried to get their attention, but they didn't notice. So I picked up my food bowl and threw it across the room. That definitely got their attention, but now I'm in my doghouse. Woof. Wagner, there's a big difference between how we feel and how we act, okay? There is? Yes, there is. Okay, we might feel angry, but we don't need to act in an angry way. Okay, so let's learn about that, Wagner. Okay, so there's a difference between how we feel and how we act. So, class, is it okay to throw things when you're angry? No, it's not. Okay, when we are angry, we don't have to call people names or hit anyone or throw things. So do you think it would be okay to tell somebody you feel angry? Absolutely. We have to tell people how we're feeling. We don't act out how we're feeling. So this is where iMessages come in to play, okay? So iMessages are so important, okay? It's a healthy way to say how we feel and why we are feeling that way. So let's go ahead and look at the next section here, okay? So there's two pictures here. They're kind of hard to see, but these are Wagner's friends, Fifi and Mitch, I believe. Yes. So let's look at Fifi, okay? So we're going to help Fifi complete an iMessage statement, okay? So look at her picture. She's got her leash in her mouth. She looks like she's wagging her tail, right? So looks like she's happy. So let's say, I feel happy when, looks like she's about ready to go for a walk, when my human takes me on a walk. Okay, so that's an I statement. So Fifi's feeling happy when her human takes her for a walk. Now, on the other hand, Mitch, he looks a little sad, okay? And I wonder why he could be sad. There's different possibilities here, but I'm going to say I feel sad when my human is not home. Okay, it looks like he's waiting for his human to come home. So do you see how these iMessages help us express how we're feeling? Good. So now I want you to practice your own iMessage, okay? I want you to think about when you felt excited and write it down in the blank, okay? So I want you to think of a word besides excited, okay? And I want you to think of when you were excited. Perhaps maybe you felt excited when your birthday party was about to happen. So I feel happy. Think of those other feeling words besides excited. Okay, good job. So use this as you express how you feel to other people. Okay, so let me ask you this. How do you feel when someone calls you names and blames you for things? Right, you don't feel good. It's not a good feeling. So how can you express that to that person? Okay, I feel angry when you call me names and blame me for things that I didn't do. And that's another example. Okay, so you feel angry. So let's talk about a bone to pick. Okay, so when you have a problem with somebody, it's important to use those iMessages. So what can we do besides tell them how we feel? So when you feel mad, you can take deep breaths, okay? You can count to 10 to calm down, okay? Or when you feel blue, you can get a hug from somebody to cheer you up. Okay, when you feel sad, you can tell an adult. But let's talk about when you have a bone to pick. What does that mean? Right, it means when you have a problem with somebody, okay? So today we're going to continue to talk about those iMessages, okay? So we will learn how to say we have a problem with somebody using those iMessages. So whenever I have a bone to pick with somebody, I use this bone to remind myself not to call someone names or blame them. Okay, it reminds me of the iMessage. Okay, it should be actually turned over so it looks like an I. Alright, so let's go ahead and go through these iMessages. Okay, let's cross out the you statements. We don't want to say you, because when we say you, we're blaming that other person. So the first one says here, you flea bag, quit stealing my bones. That is not an iMessage, right? This is an iMessage. I feel angry when you take my bones, okay? The next one here is not an iMessage, okay? You're selfish when you drink from my bowl. Get your own bowl, Okay, the I message that we should be using is I feel sad when you drink from my bowl without asking. So this one's not very nice either. You dummy, stop chewing my toys. Okay, that is not an I message. That is not appropriate. That is not the respectful thing to say. Instead, we can say, I feel frustrated when you chew my toys. The last two are blocked off here. But the first one is the I message, right? I feel mad when you dig holes in my yard. That's the appropriate way to say how you feel, instead of the last one, which you can't really see, but I can read it here. You rotten rascal, quit digging holes in my yard. Okay, that is not okay to say. That is not the I message way. Okay, so I message tells a person how you feel without blaming or name calling them. It helps you communicate in a healthy way and clearly so you can make a polite request, right? Especially when you have a bone to pick or a problem with somebody, right? So my question to you guys is, in order to have effective communication, what do you need to use, right? So this picture of Wagner, okay, it's missing two things. What is it missing? That's right. You need eyes and ears to be a good listener. How do we listen with our eyes? We make eye contact, right? Good. So remember that. It's important to show respect to others by using those I messages, by looking at them, to showing them that you are listening to them and you're trying to understand them, right? So that wraps up our lesson. If you have any questions or comments, please have your teacher or a trusted adult email us at skazaprevention@gmail.com with any of your concerns or questions, and we'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.